So welcome to our another new module which we are going to start, that is Employee Central. And in this module, what are the topics we are going to cover? What are the different tracks we are going to cover that we are going to discuss today? So let me share my screen in the meanwhile, and I will also tell you what are the things, topics are there in Employee Central and how you can leverage all those stuff. Okay. So before we go through the mind map, I will tell you, because some basic terminologies I will tell you. So any HR transformation. So generally, whether you are implementing SuccessFactors Employee Central or Workday or any other implementation, whatever you're doing, that's the technology side of it. But there is a lot of things goes on. You might have heard people and process transformation. Generally, that's a core HR transformation series. And inside that, although technology play a major role, so how I have designed my course and whatever we will be discussing, that I have divided into this entire curriculum has been designed in 17 different tracks. Okay, so that I will be sharing a short video and how the 17 tracks works and all. But anyway, this is the process we are going to follow. Okay, the first thing first, where we'll be talking about the processes. What are the different processes? Okay, so in HR we follow. Okay, so like as you are coming from your core HCM background, SAP HCM background, we can relate to it. Okay, so you talk about employee life cycle, hire to retire process, isn't it? So in the SAP HCM. So same thing also applicable, irrespective of whatever product you use, same thing is also applicable here. Okay, and here we will be having similar kind of a hire to retire or recruit to retire. Okay, same thing. We will be following that process. And here, that in the first track, we'll be discussing what are the processes we require. And for that, I will be also pointing you to which are the materials you have to refer. Okay. So this is the first track. Before we go to the implementation side of it, you have to understand what are the key processes. And for that, already we do have a digital library, and there are some SAP official library, and from that you will be also getting. And how to download it? So this is something you can access it directly from SAP SuccessFactors process library. Okay, so this is something definitely I will be sharing this with you. Okay, so these are the different module wise, just like I will relate to it through a OMPA, like that kind of a stuff. Org management, very similar to your OM SAP HCM, but here we focus more towards the position management. And for every module SAP offers, it was not available in, unfortunately, in SAP HCM, but SuccessFactors wide. So SAP provides everything, every documentations for process diagram or process summaries, the leading practices. Okay, for everything SAP provides a standard official documentation for it. Okay, same goes with your HR administration. When I say HR administration, is nothing but your personal equivalent to your personal administration in SAP HCM. Okay, so that also we will see. And time and attendance, this is your time management module equivalent to that in the SAP HCM. But now what happens from a certification point of view, this is a separate module. Okay, from a SAP SuccessFactors certification point of view, that's a separate module. Time and attendance is completely different one. Okay, so here also SAP provides all the diagrams and process summary, everything. Okay, and other than that, the benefits was there, but again, many of the people may not have used. I think, have you used benefits module in SAP HCM? There was a module, right? Even I have not used much, yeah. But here we do have a specific module for benefits. And this is more predominantly in UK, US, Canada, and all those countries. In India, also to some extent, we use this module, right? So then payroll is a popular one. We have EC payroll, Employee Central payroll, which is again, still we use the SAP HCM on-premise payroll, which we do have all the details will be available here in this diagram. So the idea is, just you have to understand what are the different modules are there. Okay, this is not covering every module, but there are some more modules are there. But whatever module SAP has documented, right, those process diagram, process summary, and leading practices you will be finding here. Okay, so definitely this will be part of your, if you get into the login to my platform. So what I will tell, so there are certain things you have to go through, and I will just point you to that point. So where exactly you have to go for. Okay.
So in Employee Central, what are the topics will be covered? Can you just tell me, please?
Yes. I will come to that. So it's a very comprehensive module. I will just tell you what are the topics we are going to cover. So give me a minute. So here, yeah. So before we go to Employee Central, there are certain prerequisites, as I said yesterday. Okay, like we do have, like before you learn how to write an essay or a sentence, we have to understand the ABC. So the ABC will be available here if you go here in Silver Membership, and here we have something called Platform Fundamental. Although that I will cover. Okay, but anyway, I will be giving access to all this material, and you can also watch that. Okay, so there's something called Platform Fundamentals. Okay, so in the Silver year subscription, you'll be getting this. So in the Platform Fundamentals, I will also point you what exactly we cover here. Okay, so Platform Fundamentals, it is again basic, means from a typical platform point of view, what are the topics, what are the basics, what are the different permission, what are the different data models. Okay, so that we are going to see here in the Platform Fundamental. And once you are familiar with all these terminologies, all those products, overall product point of view, then if you move to the SuccessFactors Employee Central, okay, then it will be very easy. But anyway, there are certain topics which are overlapping. Okay, so there are certain things. Okay, in the Employee Central, you will be finding the topics. Okay, so here also there are many topics. These are my previous sessions. Okay, the implementation side of it. There are some integration side of it. So I have tried my best to cover almost all the tracks wherever possible, and all the resources. In the resources section, you'll be finding those implementation guides and all. Okay, so this is something you will be finding here. And for any kind of doubt clear class, that way I call it Ask Me Anything, AMA. So that happens mostly on Saturdays, 8:30 p.m. So that I conduct, and here I capture all those people who are, what are the questions they ask, that kind, that's a continuous thing. Okay, it happened for every module. There are certain things wherever it is required. This is at present, this many videos are already have been recorded, and it has been already discussed in the previous session. Okay, so you'll be getting the full access to all of this content, both all the modules. Okay, now coming to what we are going to cover, why I am starting, although already there is a lot of content in my platform, why I'm going to start here. Okay, so that I will tell you why, because it's like keep changing. These modules keep changing every time, every 6 months. Okay, and now coming to the topic point of view, what are the different topics you will be seeing that I'm going to talk about here. So that from a core HR and payroll point of view, you will be finding Employee Central is one of the key module. Okay, so this is here. If I go here, what does it talk about? It talks about people, profiles, transactions is nothing but T code. But here in SuccessFactors, we do not call it a T code. Just to enter a sentence. Transactions, we call it transaction. Similarly, the OM, org management, okay, it is part of here. Time and attendance tracking, global benefits management. So a lot of topics are here in the covered in Employee Central. But if I go to see
so
further,
it's like Employee Central is completely like HCM, SAP HCM modules.
Not entirely. So there are certain part like OMPA
only
measure.
Payroll, right? I think payroll is not
payroll
there.
Is separate.
Administration
payroll
is not
separate.
here.
Payroll is separate. There are some new things which was not there at all in SAP HCM. So you can see time, for time, we have a separate module, SAP SuccessFactors time tracking. Okay. So SAP SuccessFactors Employee Central Payroll, we have a separate module, product, etc. Okay. Similarly, whatever you are seeing here, time and attendance tracking, and there is something called time tracking. Okay. So there is a little difference between this. I will talk about later on. But from a product point of view, Employee Central mostly, if you talk about OMPA, whatever we have seen in the SAP HCM, that's a major part. And what are the additional topics? It's a very heavy module. Okay, so if I go to inside it, you can see this is the latest. Okay, so if you see here from a documentation point of what are the different areas of Employee Central, there are around 50 plus area. Okay, but everything is not required for you. There are certain things which are very much technical in nature. Okay, so you can see there are 57 PDFs, 57. Okay, so for very small topics also, they have this is from an official implementation guide point of view, I'm saying. Okay, so like if you see here, because in SAP HCM we had a concept of technical functional, like that kind of stuff. Wherever any customization required, or any new forms you have to design, we have to reach out to the ABAPer. But here we do not have any concept of ABAPer. Okay. So everything will be done by the functional consultant, including every technical customization and wherever possible. So there are various aspects of it. How much you want to grasp at Tom means that is again completely depends upon you. Okay. Suppose I'm selecting all on this page, 57 out of 57. Okay. So what are the different topics? So this is the topic list. Suppose somebody will be asking you, and this is the, from an implementation point of view, these are different topic list. Okay. So how they have categorized. So this is a, suppose I will be, let's say I'll be downloading this, and what I will do, I will be, today I will be uploading this, or do you have an SUser ID, by the way? If you have, then you will be getting to SUser ID.
Which one?
Do you have? Whenever you are logging in to any SAP official site, help.sap.com, do you have a login ID for that?
No.
No, right. Okay, no problem. Then I will help you. So generally, when you go to this kind of a module, and you will be finding here, okay, so there are different categories of documentation. Okay. So like there are certain documentation specific to implementation side of it. Okay. So at present, you may not have to go through everything. Okay. But the basic one is this one. Start here. It is saying that, right? Start here. Okay. Implementing Employee Central core. For that reason, there's a difference between EC core and EC. Okay. And when I say Employee Central, it will cover everything, whatever you are seeing, all the 57. Okay. But if I'm saying EC core, okay, so that is again Employee Central, the main, the current means the core module. Okay. And now again, how to see the whether you are referring the latest document or not. So after logging into help.sap.com, there is a version you can see. Okay. 2H 2022. That is the latest one. And the previous one, you can see 1H. So what does this version mean? So basically, every year, SAP has two releases. SAP SuccessFactors has two releases. One is, they call it, first half is called 1H. Second half is called 2H. So the first half is generally released during month of May. Okay. And second half is around the month of November. Okay. So currently we are in the second half. Okay. So this year, whenever we'll be reaching around May, June, around that kind of a time frame, 2023, the 1H 2023 will be there. Okay. So this keeps on updating every 6 months. Approximately 5 to 10% changes will be there, some additional things. But core modules is always, now it has been stabilized compared to the other modules of SuccessFactors. Okay. So this is something.
So usually, so if we are in working, like, under organization, so I think still we get an updates, isn't it? For the whatever, if we have any new updates, so automatically do we get in the system, or is it some or the other one will be updating, right?
So yeah. So you can tell me in SAP HCM what you used to do. Any idea from your experience in SAP HCM what you used to do?
You mean updates?
Updates for any new update, because SAP HCM also we had those kind of updates, right?
I don't have
SAP
much
used to
updates.
release.
No, I don't have
no
much experience. Yeah.
No problem. So in SAP HCM, it was not that much frequently, maybe once in a year it was happening. And it was done by mostly SAP used to release some notes. Okay. And your SAP basis consultant, okay, they have to maintain those nodes or upgrade. Okay. So that they have to take care. But being a cloud product, that's the advantage. These things is taken care by SAP. Okay, so SAP will take care of it. Generally, every 6 months, SAP releases those. So how to find it those? So generally for every 6 months, okay, if you go to the SAP site, okay, you will be finding those details here, not here. Just I will just tell you. SAP SuccessFactors community actually. So now there is a community. We have, just like in SAP HCM, community was there. So now you will be finding similar community for inside this main SAP community. Okay, you will be finding a community called for specific to our topic. Okay, so let's say I'm looking for only SuccessFactors. Okay, so you will be finding here topic related to, not this one, just a minute. I will just tell you the right one. Basically here, let's say you have to search for SuccessFactors. Okay, so let me get it downloaded here. This is something which is I have downloaded for you, which I'll be sharing after the session. So this is Core People Experience Lab. So currently we are in 2H21. Already I have downloaded, but this is a recent version. Okay. So I will be downloading this and I will be sharing this after the session. Yeah. So once you go to this community, okay, so you will be finding something like this. So I will just share you few success factor. SAP SCM. Okay. So if you go here, community.sap.com, SAP success factors, specific topic. These are actually called topics. Okay. So this one is free. Okay. So you can sign up using your email IDs and all. And here you will be finding the SAP success factor community here. And here there is something called all the latest update, whatever the latest updates. Okay. So you will be finding all those details. And for every releases, okay, you will be getting those summary here. So recently, this was the second release, right? 2H 2022. That happened in the November, right? And SAP provides all those videos, all those very detailed, not like your SAP HCM, but they provide the very detailed way of those highlights presentation. You'll be finding everything, whatever you need in this site. And also there is an official YouTube channel for SAP SuccessFactors from product point of view, and product documentation, which I have shown to you, that help.sap.com, right? So from there, you will be getting from here, okay? So these are the different things we do have, and from a documentation point of view, okay? So now coming back to our Employee Central, here we do have, as I was saying, in the core module, we have like the topics, okay? So if you see here, the topics like, so I will be coming to the mind map so that it will be very easy for me to make you understand, right? So coming to our, so this is, I have, from an architecture point of view, we will be having, again, various kind of a documentation will be provided by SAP. So these are like architectural leading practices, what are the implementation design principle, what are the different process library, all the details will be provided by SAP, okay? So those details, again, these are again series of documentation which you will be finding again from for everything. Okay, SAP provides end-to-end process. Okay, so this is something if you want to see. Let's say you want to talk about OM, okay, organization management point of view. What are the detailed process SAP wants you to learn you? Okay, so from a HR org management point of view, these are the main topic. But like managing positions, managing foundational elements. So what is foundational element? That I will talk later on. So how you maintain it? They actually managing position, how to create a new position or any existing position, how do you update it? Okay, so these are two major sub processes. Okay, then how to do it? You might be aware of this, like how means
Neeladri,
in which cases there is.
My husband would like to talk to you. He's coming actually, so. Yeah, I just want to tell you. Yeah, he will be coming. Okay. He'll be joining in 2 minutes.
Okay. Sure.
Okay. Thank you.
So from a process point of view, these are the end-to-end process. Okay. So I will recommend to go through the standard process. It's very similar to your SAP HCM. This doesn't make any change. You will be finding very easy. Okay. So what are the different processes we have to follow? This is how to request a position. So wherever you are seeing there is a purple color here. Okay.
Yeah.
So that is what actual transaction happens inside SuccessFactors Employee Central. Okay. And wherever there is, you are seeing there's a hand symbol, that will be a manual process. Okay. So this is very comprehensive and this may vary from organization to organization, but 80 to 90%, the process will remain the same. Okay. So in the organization, the role may be different. Suppose certain roles are done in this process. If you are seeing, it is done by line manager. Okay, so maybe in your organization or in a client organization, they might be calling it a different name, right? It can be your hiring manager or by some other name, but more or less the person may same, but maybe different. But this kind of process, like there will be headcount approval if it is happening, then only you will be creating a position. Okay, so then other process will follow. So this is a very comprehensive. I have just spoken. But who are the actors or who are the persons that will be involved, like your headcount approver, organization, design administrators? A lot of things are here. It is again, if it is small organization, it may happen 1 person or 2 person is doing everything. But if it is a bigger organization, it depends again. Okay. So this is actually, you don't have to start from scratch. Even I do not do like that way. Whenever you're going for an implementation, ask for the client whether they are having this kind of a process already in place. If not, generally we do not tell to the client to create something from scratch. Rather, we show this process. This is how SAP operates. These are the best practices or leading practices. Okay. Once we go through it, maybe after that, from the client, you have to understand what are the different deviations, how differently they are doing. You capture those differences in your documents, okay, in your business blueprint or your workbook, whatever. Okay. Then you start configuring, design your process accordingly. So this is from a overall landscape, overall process overview point of view. Okay. So this is something I'm not going to go in detail because each will take at least 1 hour. Okay. For this is again very high level they're explaining how to do a mass change, okay, bulk hiring, okay, for a specific element, if you want to change, how to do it, okay. This is a typical end-to-end process, and for every process, SAP has provided very detailed your process diagrams and all this process library, and also you'll be getting an explanation for this as well, okay. So for all of this, okay, you will be finding not only this process diagram, but also your process in terms of process explanation, everything SAP provides here. Okay. So here, as I was saying, process diagram is there, process summary is there. Process summary is nothing but your explanation of those diagrams. Okay. And similarly, the leading practices means what are the best practices you have to follow. SAP provides all in a single level this package. So it's very super easy to follow. Okay. And this is with this foundation, what I generally do. So I recommend to go through this document. And after that, what I generally do, this is part of a track number 1. So it is all about PL. PL means process library, where you will have to understand process diagrams, process description, and leading practices. This is something we do in as a consultant, we should be aware of all these things. Even if you are an administrator, you are getting a role of that, you should understand all these 3 things. Okay. So this is from a process point of view. Now coming to this, how you will be capturing those. So you may, in some companies, they call it BRD. Okay, we call it business requirement document. Okay, or some we prepare a business case. You have to discuss those requirements in some cases. Okay. That is again depending upon the organization where you are working or the clients. What are the expectations from them? Accordingly, we have to capture. Okay, so again, this tool again, the process diagram again you can draw using very simple MS Visio, Microsoft Visio, or there are tools like Signavio. Okay. Or there are tools, currently I'm using Aries, okay, which is a tool by Software AZ. There's a company called Software AZ. So again, these can be done by a different way, the process diagram, which I was talking about. Also, these diagrams you will be finding here, and there is something called api.sap.com. And in here also, you will be finding recently, not every process, okay, but if you want to see an online version of it, okay, a couple of them are already there. So this is hire to retire for cloud deployment, because SuccessFactors is a cloud module, cloud product, right? And if you go here, you will be finding, let's say I'll be talking hire to retire. I want to see the solution process flow. How does the entire solution look like? I can go here and I can see the entire diagram online. Okay. This is something online version of it. And whatever I have shown before this, that was the PDF version of it. Okay. So it is a little different. So you'll be finding all those details here. So all those diagrams and all. So this is from a process point of view, which I was talking about. Okay. This is your process library. Okay. So any question? This is a very basic thing. Yeah. Just introduction. Yeah. Any question?
Yeah, it's similar to SAP, SAP HCM. Yeah. But SAP HCM, I love the navigation part, but I don't know how is this in this one.
I will come to that. I will come to that. So we will see that. So now coming
my husband is here, Niladri. Yeah.
Okay, so I will take the pause here, stop the recording.